At Marshall's, our buyers spend every day hustling for the brands you love, so you don't have to. We get the deals. Yeah. You get the good stuff. Marshall's.
Tomorrow on ET, our Serena Williams exclusive. Is she ready for a tennis return?
I'm not trying to get the bug.
And the new supersized gigs that will have her daughter Olympia asking,
"And Mom, is that you?"
Olympia runs that house.
Yes, she does.
She absolutely does. Okay, we leave you now with the show everybody's talking about, The Last of Us, breathing new life into an iconic Linda Ronstadt track. Just listen to her voice, y'all. Night, everybody.
I think I'm gonna love you
For a long, long time.
Happening now. A little break in the action for now, but heavier activity expected tonight. Icing for a good portion of the KSAT 12 viewing area. I'll break it down where, how much, and what kind of impact it'll have on trees, power lines, roads. And actually, speaking of roads, our Garrett Berger has been with TxDOT, and he's got an update.
Drivers on their way in this morning face some slick conditions, and it may not be over yet. TxDOT and Bexar County preparing for another day. What they're doing to make sure the roads are safe.
From the roads to the skies, how the wintry mix is impacting flights at the airports, and what the city is doing right now to reach out to some of the most vulnerable. The news at 5 starts right now. First at 5, a cold, rainy Tuesday here in San Antonio and a bit icy in the hill country.
Yeah, is the weather going to get worse before it gets better? Here's Adam Caskey.
Well, we're seeing a little reprieve out there right now this afternoon and even through the evening hours. Not much happening on the radar screen, but it is going to get worse. We're going to dive into those details and all the elements coming together in just a moment. First, you look at the radar, one little patch of freezing rain headed into Bandera right now. City of Bandera there in Bandera County. It's very light in nature, but this pink indicates, rain falling as liquid, but likely to freeze on contact, mainly with elevated surfaces. I mean, we're talking the street signs and even some bridges and overpasses, parked vehicles, tree limbs and whatnot. That's very light in nature. Otherwise, we don't have any other shower activity out there to speak of at the moment. Of course, temperatures, we've been tracking them all day. They're very critical. 34 at the airport, Helotes down to 31, Bulverde 31, Bernie 30, see at and even below freezing into the hill country. Comfort right now at 29 degrees. And for the most part, the hill country in the upper 20s, meanwhile above freezing once you get out of the hill country. But what's really critical is road temperatures. The elevated surfaces getting a little bit of icing earlier today. Here's an example on the east side of San Antonio of this light glaze on the lounge chair outside. That's what I mean by the elevated surfaces. That's what we've been dealing with around town throughout the day today. However, that may translate to the roads in some areas as we get into the night. And road temperatures are very critical in this situation. Take a look at the latest road temperatures and throughout San Antonio, this green area indicating above freezing by enough where there aren't going to be any issues. 37 degrees along 1604 on the north side. You get downtown, road temperatures 39 degrees. However, the changes occur farther to the north into the hill country, and that's where we've got the borderline freezing temperatures up to 81, Smithson Valley area, right around 33, 32 degrees. Now, our very own Sarah Spivey, she is right between Comfort and Fredericksburg. And Sarah, any ice on the streets compared to the driveways? What about exposed areas? Oh, we're going to go to TransGuide right now.
That's right, Adam. The roads, like you said, a bit wet, but not with the sort of issues that we saw this morning.
Yes, that's for
Earlier
sense.
today, there were some trouble spots, and they were serious. A Bernie police officer is okay after his vehicle was hit along I-10 and South Main Street this morning. According to Bernie PD, at around 8 o'clock this morning, the officer was helping another driver and was sitting inside his vehicle when another truck lost control on a patch of ice and crashed into the officer's vehicle. That officer was taken to the hospital, but has been released. Around the same time, San Antonio police were busy clearing up a series of crashes on the north side that involved 10 cars. This is at Loop 1604 and Lookout Road. Police tell us 3 crashes happened all around the same time due to icy roads. The wrecks had traffic backed up for hours, but SAPD says no one was hurt. 2 hours prior, at around 6 this morning, as many as 5 vehicles crashed here in San Antonio. This is at O'Connor and North Weidner Roads on the northeast side. SAPD says some of the vehicles skid on ice, but thankfully no one was hurt. They did have to shut down that bridge, though, as a precaution. And in the northern part of Bexar County and the Hill Country, icy roads did get treated yesterday in advance of all this.
And hopefully those treatments will help as the cold weather continues. Garrett Berger talked with TxDOT and Bexar County about the precautions they are still taking. Garrett.
And it's not just precautions they're taking, it's also you. If you're going out on the roads, you're going to want to drive carefully out here. We checked in with both San Antonio Police and the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. Between those two agencies, they say they've responded to 10 weather-related crashes. Now, the Texas Department of Transportation has had crews out since yesterday, spraying down highways with brine. They've been concentrating on the bridges and overpasses, which are the first to freeze in the cold weather, but they are also doing the highways as well. A spokeswoman told us earlier in the day they'd continue to spray brine until it was above freezing with no chance of rain. TxDOT's website for highway conditions, Drive Texas, showed icy conditions to the north of Bexar County this afternoon, but that could...
Do keep in mind that if the temperature begins to drop and, the rain continues, then we could potentially see some issues, and we want to make sure that everybody who is on the roadway be safe and try to avoid like I said, if you do not have to go anywhere today, please stay at home.
Bexar County tells us they had people coming at 5 this morning to come in and tackle the icy spots on their roadways, which the sheriff's office would point them toward. It's mainly been bridges that they've been treating, they tell us, with brine mixed with beet juice, as well as some small gravel. They'll be working in 24-hour shift rotations until at least Wednesday night by one public work official's estimate. Now, TxDOT also put out some tips for driving in these winter conditions. Some of the basics mean don't use your cruise control, and give some space between the car in front of you. It's not the going that's the problem in the ice, it's the stopping. Live at 281 and 1604, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Good advice there. Thank you, Garrett. Now, we just heard from Garrett about the conditions here in Bexar County. Further north, it's even colder.
Sarah Spivey now. She's joining us live. She's along Highway 87 between Comfort and Fredericksburg. And yeah, this is an area we are expecting issues, Sarah.
Absolutely, and we're already seeing issues. I want to step aside here so that you can see the situation here. Everything you see that's white is only ice. It's not snow, it's all ice. Again, we are on 87 right between Comfort and Fredericksburg. You can see just how thick this ice is when you look at this tree right here. On one side of this tree, you've got over an inch, sometimes even an inch and a half of ice. Look at this particular branch. It's weighing down many of these trees. Take a look at that tree over there. You can see how half of it is kind of lopsided. Well, not only did they get this much freezing rain here today, but we're expecting at least another half an inch of freezing rain in these parts tomorrow. So we're likely going to have across the hill country lots of power outages in places because of continued freezing rain, as Adam hinted at earlier. I just want to go ahead and show you on my handheld weather system here. This is a look at the wind chill right now in this area. I've seen it as low as 13 degrees. So not only is it icy, it is unbearingly cold outside. We'll be continuing to keep track of the situation in the hill country, not only today, but also tomorrow on GMSA. Reporting right between Comfort and Fredericksburg, I'm meteorologist Sarah Spivey. Back to you.
Thank you, Sarah. What a difference just a few miles makes in all this. Meanwhile, travelers in San Antonio feeling the effects of the winter weather up north. Several flights at San Antonio International either canceled or delayed, leaving some people stranded.
RJ Marquez has been live at the airport. RJ, give us an update on what the situation is like right now.
Yeah, that's right, guys. Things look pretty normal so far, but of course, a lot of people here were stuck earlier today trying to make sort of last-minute accommodations, travel accommodations, to just kind of figure out what they were going to do for the night or just figure out the best way to get to their travel destinations. So we heard from the airport that there were 30 cancellations at least up to this point right now, and 36 delays due to the severe weather up in the North Texas area. And of course, many of those cancellations and delays were due to actually came from Southwest and American Airlines, two airlines there with major hubs in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. The website FlightAware reported that Southwest canceled 20% of their flights at San Antonio International, and American delayed 22% of flights. So we spoke with a couple whose flight from Tucson to Dallas was actually diverted mid-flight to San Antonio because of ice in the DFW area.
They said there was going to be a 20-minute delay, that we were going to fly up in the air for a while, and that happened, and then it says now we need fuel. So we had to go to San Antonio, so that's why we're here. So our vacation is upside down right now.
Yeah, and they're not the only ones. They're headed to Isla de Mujeres, but are actually staying in San Antonio tonight. Again, airport officials are saying that they are monitoring the situation, but they're asking travelers to check with specific airlines before they head out to the airport. Reporting live from San Antonio International Airport, RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, RJ. Well, now imagine having no place to stay. Right now, work is being done to help San Antonio's unhoused population in all this.
Lee Waldman is joining us live. I know there are several organizations working together. Is it enough outreach for this situation?
Well, Christian Assistance Ministry let us tag along with them today as they were delivering things like blankets and hand warmers, other supplies to people who are living outside in these cold temperatures. Earlier in the day, we were at the Corazon Day Center. They opened early and are staying open late because of these cold temperatures. They have hot meals, showers, and other supplies to keep you warm. While Corazon closes their doors overnight at 5, they're working with other shelters in the area that are opening overnight.
We'll have outreach workers here starting at 5 that are able to transport them to any of the shelters that are going to be open along with their belongings. And then, of course, there's me and another case manager and a few other staff from CAM that are just trying to help.
Those overnight shelters are Church Under the Bridge, Haven for Hope, and Sold Out Believers. Corazon will open back up tomorrow morning at around 7 a.m. Now, coming up at 6 p.m., we're going to take you as those CAM ministers are doing that outreach on the street and delivering those goods to people who need it. They're also working with SAPD to make sure that they have those warming supplies with those officers as we approach those overnight hours. Live downtown, Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Lee. Now, a number of schools canceling classes already for tomorrow. To find out if your school is part of that list, scan the QR code on your screen. Already, some of the largest districts have announced classes are canceled tomorrow. We're going to continue updating the list as new closures are announced, and we have those school closures listed at the bottom of the screen throughout this newscast as well. And you can stay up to date with all our weather coverage at KSAT.com. Be sure to download the KSAT 12 News app and weather app on your smart devices as well.
San Antonio's Animal Care Services now on duty to protect the city's pets in this weather. They're advising you keep your furry family members indoors to prevent them from freezing over the next couple of days. And keep in mind, this is mandated by law that pets have access to constant food and water. Any violation reported to ACS can result in a $200 charge per fine. ACS is also asking for help to house animals in their shelter.
We need fosters. We need fosters desperately that are willing to take in pets just for a few days to give us a little bit of breathing room.
That's how crowded they are right now. Now, to apply to foster an animal, you can visit the website, and you can see that at the bottom of your screen there. Everything will be provided by ACS. You don't have to buy anything to foster, like food, water, or medicine. They'll make it available to you.
The space heaters can keep you warm during the cold, but they can also prove dangerous if left unattended. 12 on your side will explain how to keep yourself safe from an accident.
Myra Arthur here in the KSAT 12 newsroom. Here's one of the stories that we are working on for the news at 6 o'clock today. Close to a dozen dogs rescued from this cold. Animal Care Services responded to a home on the city's west side today. The condition of these animals and what charges the owners could now be facing. That's today at 6 o'clock.
Thank you, Myra. And in this bone-chilling weather, we all look for ways to stay warm, and a popular way is to plug in your space heater. But before you do it, 12 Underside's Marilyn Moritz shows us some common mistakes you should avoid.
A 91-year-old woman died in this East Side home 1 year ago. The space heater she'd been using to try to stay warm had accidentally tipped over, igniting a fire. Space heaters are linked to an average 70 deaths and 1,700 fires in the U.S. each year, according to the Consumer Product Safety Commission. They are much safer than they used to be. Newer models automatically shut off if they tip over. If yours is old, consider a new one. And it has to be used correctly. Here are some do's and don'ts from fire safety experts.
Always make sure to keep space heaters at least 3 feet away from other furniture, curtains, or anything else combustible.
Don't place them on carpets or in a child's bedroom. When you plug it in, plug it directly into the wall.
It can be tempting to use these, an extension cord or a power strip, but don't. They may not be able to handle the electrical current.
And when you leave the room or go to sleep, turn the space heater off. If the power goes out, a portable generator can help keep essentials running. They should be placed at least 20 feet from the house. Never use your home's oven, stove, or backyard grill to heat a room. They can start a fire and emit deadly carbon monoxide fumes. And be sure your smoke and CO detectors have working batteries. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
All right, here's a look outside. Dry right now in the Alamo City. We just have the low overcast that's in place, but get ready. Another round of rain is coming later on tonight. That's actually one of my top weather headlines. Get ready for heavier rain and freezing rain by about 2 a.m. So really not much happening between now and then, but that's going to set the stage for, I think, even bigger problems for the morning commute tomorrow. Icing, especially along and north of 410, but even downtown, we could get a little bit of icing on some elevated surfaces. Get into more impacts in a moment, but the highest impact will be up in the hill country. That's for sure, as of course is typically the situation. There's that one little sprinkle we were talking about over Bandera. Not too much to this, but if you're in Bandera or just west of Pipe Creek, right along 16 there, and 46, you can anticipate some icing on elevated surfaces. Probably not on the surface roads, maybe some driveways because they're not as traveled, so they don't have as much friction, and sometimes just 1 or 2 degrees will make the difference. But that's all we have out there right now in terms of the rain. I want to jump right into what we're expecting in terms of the icing situation and how much we can get. And this is one of our high-res computer models that we have in-house here. And I'll get rid of this banner off the top. Okay, notice how not much is going to happen between now and midnight. You don't see these numbers climb. And by the way, this is additional freezing rain on top of what's already out there. And Sarah showed you what's out there just north of Comfort, already nearly 0.2 of an inch. We get to 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and you'll start to see these numbers rise by sunrise tomorrow. And after sunrise, that's when we start to see the highest accumulations of additional freezing rain. And remember, freezing rain is liquid rain that turns into ice on contact with the elevated surface or even the ground, especially as we get into the hill country. So that's what we have coming our way. And coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll get into what is freezing rain and what causes it and why we're dealing with it. But let's talk about the impacts, starting with this dark area here, this dark pink, almost purple in the hill country, up to 3/4 of an inch of ice accumulation on tree limbs and power lines. More power outages are likely. Already 300 customers without power in Gillespie County as a result. I think we'll be adding to that all the way down into Kendall County, northern, maybe even central Comal County, Kerr County, and northern Bandera County. Travel not recommended throughout that major impact zone. Then we get to the moderate impact. This is northern Bexar County, north of 1604, and probably just along 1604. It includes Fair Oaks Ranch, about the Bernie area, the cutoff, Bulverde, Timberwood Park, Garden Ridge, New Braunfels, Green, Geronimo, down over toward Medina Lake. Icy elevated surfaces and even a few surface roads could become icy as well. Definite travel troubles and some isolated power outages could come into play, but probably nothing like what we could see in the hill country. Then we get south of 1604 through downtown and about to Highway 90. And that's where we'll have the minor impacts, mainly just some elevated surfaces. I mean, especially your outdoor lawn furniture. If you leave your car parked out overnight, you'll probably have a little bit of icing on that. But the main concern is really just some of the bridges and overpasses, especially the less traveled ones and the ones that aren't treated as effectively. Here's a quick look at our futurecast. We only have a little bit of time left here, but I want to point out, I mentioned 2 o'clock, kind of the cutoff. 2 o'clock and after, that's when we'll have the activity really starting to pick up. And we'll be here and we'll be live on the KSAT Weather Authority app once this activity starts to ramp up, and we'll keep you posted. Then it starts to really taper off by Wednesday afternoon. Really quickly, temperature 32 late tonight and early tomorrow morning, and then only up to 34 for the high temperature tomorrow. Thursday, we start to clear out, back to 47 for a high by Friday, sunny and near 60. We'll get into more details coming up at 6.
A lot to watch. Thank you so much, Adam.
All right, Greg Popovich is not happy.
He is not happy. His post-game presser last night lasted about 19 seconds and he got up and left. Now the Spurs pretty much outplayed the Wizards last night, except when it came to three-point shooting. And before last night, the Wizards' last win in San Antonio was in 1999. Can you name the starting lineups? Coming up.
They're doing what they can. It's one of those games. We have more fast break points. We had more second chance points. We had fewer turnovers. We had more points in the paint, but shot 20-something from 3, and they shot, I don't know what it says, 50 or something like that. Game over.
Well, that was it. Pop's post-game presser last night lasted about 19 seconds in Big Board Sports. The Washington Wizards ended a 22-game losing streak to the Spurs in San Antonio, beating them 127-106 last night. The Spurs started on fire, winning the first quarter 36-30 and outshooting the Wizards nearly 56% to 42. Rookie Jeremy Sohan scored 15 of his 17 points in the opening frame, making 6 of his 7 field goal attempts, but he was just 1 for 6 the rest of the way. As Pop said, the Spurs had more fast break points, more second chance points, more points in the paint, and fewer turnovers, but the Wizards were better from three-point range, shooting the Spurs 16-7, and that turned out to be the difference.
If you're not going to shoot well, it certainly makes the margin of error that much smaller. And we've had a lot of games like that, it seems, this year where we play really well. Some of the stats he told us in the locker room too. We beat him points in the paint. I think we more fast break points, less turnovers, and when you do things like that, you put yourself in a position to win. But when we shoot 24% from 3, then today, like you said, today's game, it's tough.
Here's the Wizards starting lineup when they last won here in SA December 11, 1999, 99-89. Juwan Howard, Michael Smith, Isaac Austin, Rod Strickland, and Mitch Richmond. Richmond scored a game-best 31 points. The Spurs starting 5 consisted of Chucky Brown, Tim Duncan, David Robinson, Avery Johnson, and Mario Elie. Duncan had a double-double that night with 23 points and 13 rebounds. So up next, the Spurs will host the Sacramento Kings tomorrow night at 7 at the AT&T Center. So Sacramento comes to town after winning at Minnesota 118-111 in overtime last night. De'Aaron Fox scored 32 points, and Trey Lyles had 8 of his 11 points in overtime for the Kings. Sacramento had a season-high 15 steals and turned 18 turnovers by the Timberwolves into 21 points. Sacramento is 3rd in the Western Conference and trying to end an NBA record 16-year absence from the playoffs, and so far, so good for the Kings. So how about that Spurs starting 5?
I'd forgotten Chucky Brown played for the Spurs.
Yeah. I wasn't here at that time. I didn't know he played for the Spurs, honestly.
I would have never got Chucky Brown.
We'll be right back.
I want to point out we're going to get some good beneficial rain, and I do think we could see upwards of a ½ inch to even an inch in some parts of our location, some parts of our area. We'll have more at 6 o'clock.